Okay, so summary for Smash Monster Rampage. In case it wasn't readily apparent in the intro, we were definitely backers of this. Got to watch the whole dramatic collapse firsthand. And it's really kind of disappointing in a lot of ways because this is a fantastic, kids, young adult kind of game. It's not bad for grown-ups, but we're not huge fans of random, and there's a lot of that in this game. A lot of dice, a lot of kooky, illogical monster falling over and such. Which some people are going to be totally okay with. In fact, it'll be a plus for some people. Just not really our cup of tea generally. But utterly fantastic as far as a kid's game goes because, the basic mechanics of the game are very, very simple. Nothing hard to explain at all. You can teach this game in 2 minutes, tops. And, as long as you've got one person that knows, the fiddly little, the counters and stuff like that, then you're good. Everybody can play, have a wonderful time, and it's a co-op, so that makes it even easier to teach because there's no harm in sharing strategy. And, there's really not going to be a great deal of potential for alpha gaming in this. One player basically telling everyone what to do because it's so random. No one really knows better than anyone else what's going to happen. But yeah, so back to the issues with the company. I bring all this up, which normally I wouldn't because it's not really relevant in most cases, simply because the availability of this game is very significantly in question. There's several copies for ridiculously cheap price on, Miniature Market, and I think maybe Cool Stuff had some too. It's like $25 or something, which for that price, absolutely buy it. I mean, buy 5. I mean, that's just a ridiculous price for how cool these little buildings and monsters and stuff are. But depending on when you're watching this video, the game may be very thoroughly out of print and never coming back. I'm hoping that Mike Swindoll there, gets the rights to his game back now that the company's collapsed and can, take it to another publisher somewhere and that it'll see the light of day because it's absolutely delightful as a kid and family sort of game. It's random, but it's not quite as agonizing as something like, say, Yahtzee, where you're just like, no. Well, I am, at least. Really the components are delightful. I love these pieces. They're just so much fun. I mean, if you're super nitpicky, they don't all close all the way or sit properly, but, I'm the type that isn't going to stress the little things like that and just, it looks so cool. A little city on fire with a dragon flapping around. It's great. I love it. The kid inside just cannot get enough of this. And we'll hear from the kid outside in just a moment too. So,
the monster that comes with the game is the one that's on the box, the base game. So it's like you're rampaging with Godzilla through the city.
And see, that is definitely something to make very clear. I don't know how it's being done, by Miniature Market, Cool Stuff, whoever has copies, but in the base game, this here, you only get the one monster. That's it, just him. You need this to have the wide variety of available monsters and special dice and cards and everything that makes it a complete experience.
Yeah, that has monsters, dice, and special weapons.
Yeah.
The base game is the only part with the building.
Right. So, you absolutely need both. It's an incomplete game without them. Mm-hmm. Having the one monster would be so tedious and just uninteresting.
Absolutely.
You'd play it 2 or 3 times and go, okay, well, seen that. Which, I guess for $25, 3 plays still isn't the worst ratio in the world, but no, you really need this, and I'm hoping that the Mega Monster box is available alongside the base game because just one is not complete without the other. So let's hear from those kids I kept mentioning. Unless they're too busy sitting on the floor, which, is always fun. Just come over here, you ridiculous children.
I'm not ridiculous.
Jeez, I think you are actually quite ridiculous. But nonetheless, we'll start with you. Tell the camera what you think.
I think it was really, really awesome.
Because?
Because the buildings look like they're real in like the little city, and you actually get to build like the monsters and put.
So it's almost kind of like a Lego toy,
together.
sort of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you do stuff. Okay, what do you think?
I think it was super, super, super awesome.
Okay.
Because the dragon one looking like the Godzilla one, they are kind of looking cool looking, and
You think they're cool looking?
yeah, and those little miniature people on fire are kind of funny looking.
They're kind of funny looking.
And these buildings
So you like all the
are
pieces?
nice. Yeah.
What about the game? What do you like about the game?
The game is fun to play, and I wonder what next monster we're gonna play.
Now, what the next monster we'll fight is? Probably the octopus. I'm sure Mama's been dying to play
You
the
mean
octopus.
that octopus?
Yeah, that
Oh,
octopus.
well, he's on the front of the box, guys.
Yes, that octopus.
Yeah, but you get to see like all the.
Anyway,
Yeah, anyway.
so yeah, it's been an absolute blast with the kids. We've had a lot of fun playing it too. You know, when you do it team style, it's really adds another layer of interest there. And if you can get both boxes, it's absolutely worth picking up for. I don't know what they would sell that one for, but I'd say I'd go up to probably $50 or so for the experience, maybe 55-ish. But it's hard to say what the future will hold for this. So keep an eye out. And honestly, unless you really like what you see, don't go any higher. Yeah, so cap yourself at worst 55, 60, because it's cool, but
The board is double-sided.
there's lots of cool out there. Yeah,
Which adds an extra
and I
element.
thought there was another.
There is another board
there,
in
too.
there. Well,
Okay.
and not all
Well,
the boards
so-
is all the buildings.
So that will about do us, I'd say. Hopefully you liked what you saw, got something useful out of it, and my weird, smelly children didn't turn you off to the game. You heard me. All right. Well, until next time, get off your computer and play some more games. Yeah, I love you too.